Today I want to talk about the timeline for JT Tuimoloau and all that's coming up after the bumper.
Don't be cornering me. Hold up. Time. You gotta help me with that corner shit.
What's up, kinfolk? It's RJ Young. I am not on Step Mill. Consider hitting the like and subscribe button because I upload a video every single day. As it was college football related, sports related, we have a good time today. I want to talk about the timeline of JT Tuimoloau as Brandon Huffman continues to do outstanding work in reporting on the recruitment of the number one player in the top 247 and one of the three best players in the country. That is defensive tackle JT Tuimoloau, who is down to 5 schools and is not entertaining suitors from other schools, which is interesting, right? Because take, for instance, Oregon, a school he is still considering. Change at defensive coordinator. Andy Avalos is no longer at Oregon. He is the head coach at Boise State. Tim DeRuyter comes in, and Oregon stays on the list. Same thing with Pete Kwiatkowski, right? Coach PK down at Texas. Kwiatkowski. I'm going to get it, Pete. And I know that there are Washington fans that watch this channel. You should really take a look at how long it took me to learn to say DJ Uwe Ungalale. But practice makes perfect. And if nothing, looking at this channel, I am relentless in practice. Now, Pete Kwiatkowski takes the job at Texas. Texas doesn't make the list. Doesn't matter. Washington is still on the list. And I got a take about that I want to get to in a minute here. But earlier this month, Ryan Day said he didn't have a whole lot more spots open in his 21 class. I think they did a lot of work, and they got a lot of great talent already on campus. It's actually really one of the better done roster management situations that I've seen in college football in quite some time. Like, sincerely, they're really good and they're really deep. Kudos to them, because now they get to pick and choose. Rajon Davis took a visit to Columbus, and that seems to be promising. JT Tuimoloau also considering Columbus. Larry Johnson leading his recruitment, but also important there, G. Scott, former teammate, he is already on campus. Emeka Egbuka from the same state, they're friends. He's committed, signed. He's going to be on campus. So you're looking at 2 dudes you know coming from the Washington area. And while you can make an argument that Washington, Alabama, and especially Ohio State have done a really remarkable job of putting defensive linemen into the country, Larry Johnson has them on an assembly line. Yeah, that's where I was going with that, because like Chase Young, Nick Bosa, Joey Bosa, we'll see what happens with Jonathan Cooper, whom I really, really like, and I think lots of people are actually just sleeping on, and I can't help him there. Tommy Togiai is also another one of those that I think is going to be a really good pro. I think Washington should have won him. I think Washington should have won G. Scott. I think Washington should have won Emeka Egbuka, because I looked up and I saw that there were 7 top 247 players from the state of Washington. For perspective there, right? That's the most not from California. Arizona has 3. And all I've seen Arizona do the last few years is put out kiddo after kiddo after kiddo. Jacoby Covington is at Washington. Keely Ringo is at Georgia. Spencer Rattler's at Oklahoma. Bijan Robinson is at Texas. Noah Nelson's at OU. Chuba Purdy is at, look, Brock Purdy. Like, we keep going here. Jack Miller. I think that if you're putting out the kind of talent that state has, and you got twice as much, you ought to be locking down these kiddos, and you ought to go win some championships. Now, that said, they are the last Pac-12 team to make the college football playoff, so I don't want to act like they ain't done nothing with all that talent, but, just point that out there. We've seen recent times here, the only dude that was in that top Sam Heward, cool, you need to get them all, right? Because that's how you get Washington into a national championship type situation. I find it interesting that Nick Saban continues to recruit JT Tuimoloau himself. Ain't leaving that one up to Freddie Roach, right? Ain't leaving that one up to anybody. Has led the recruitment, will continue to lead the recruitment. While I think Alabama probably finishes a distant third, the best argument for JT Tuimoloau right now is to go to Alabama. It is an assembly line for the NFL. You will play for SEC championships. You'll probably play for national championships. Matter of fact, shout out to my buddy Daniel Dillard, who pointed this out to me. With this last national championship win for Alabama, every player who signed with Nick Saban and stayed at least 3 years won a national championship since 2007. His entire tenure. So if you were there for 3 years, you have a national title ring, which is bonkers. And also one of those things that I think more kiddos should consider if they say winning is important to them. Now, most of them will tell me it ain't, right? It's cool, it's fun, But what is most interesting to them is who can prepare me and get me ready to go into the NFL. And that is how a lot of places got better. That is how a lot of places stayed great. Alabama can get you both, right? Get you one that can do both. Alabama can get you and do both. Clemson can get you and do both, right? Those are two at the top that we don't have a problem with. LSU, most years, can do both, right? I find it wild that we're still talking about Texas A&M like Texas A&M fits the bill for this. No, Texas A&M is basically North Carolina. Like, they can put you in the league. They can't do both, okay? And that would be what I recruit to if I was A&M. I would, especially on the defensive side of the ball, all I would be like is, yo, we have a clear path to the NFL over here. They come through us, right? You want to get there? Let us get our hands on you. The same thing could be said about Texas Christian. They ain't going to play for championships, but if you play defense, you stand about a 3-11 shot, right, of getting there. And I find that to be interesting. But as it pertains to JT Tuimoloau and the timeline, look, man, way to bury the lead, RJ. He's not going to sign on National Signing Day, all right? He's likely to take his recruitment all the way into May, where he'll sign a financial aid agreement and then have to enroll on campus, and it still won't be done until he gets there. That's what we're looking at. Like, he might actually come out and say between February and May where he's committed and where he's going to go, but it ain't going to matter until he enrolls there. So I would be shocked if he doesn't take it all the way at least until June, when you would want to early enroll, right? Other part about that that's interesting is, what does that do to Ryan Day and Rajon Davis and their schedule, right? Because let's assume Davis wants to go. I think it's still USC right now, but let's assume he wants to go. Does he take a spot? No, because if you can get them both, you'll take them both. You'll find room. It'll be all right, right? It'll be all right. Right now, I think JT Tuimoloau is going to lean Ohio State. We'll see if Washington can make a late surge. Alabama can never be counted out as long as Nick Saban is the head coach and is running lead on your recruitment. My God. And Rajon Davis feels like after LSU kind of fell through, he's on to USC. Can't fault him for that, because USC might make some noise here in the next couple of years. That'd be fun. All right, that's it for me. Deuces.